Oops, that's my profile. All right, good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Carly Smith is here. We are live talking about the tropical rain and the weather impact alert. We are also being joined by meteorologist Hope Bolin. We'll get to meet her in just a second on this platform. So you might have seen her on First Edition on Sunday mornings. But 3 things to know is that we will have periods of heavy rain. While we haven't had that yet today, it is coming. There's also some thick Saharan dust in our atmosphere, and we are trending hot and humid for the holiday weekend. All right, hello everyone. Your time now is 10:15 a.m. I'm meteorologist Carly Smith, and this is Hope.
Hi.
Hi. So, Hope, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm originally from North Carolina. Wasn't born here, but I went to Texas A&M University in College Station to get my meteorology degree, and I just graduated last May.
Congratulations and welcome. So, what is your favorite weather?
Probably snow.
Oh.
Yeah, not gonna get much here.
No,
But
I think it's roughly every 10 to 15 years we see some snow. We do tend to get some sort of tiny frozen precip of some type every winter that I've been here, I believe, whether that's freezing rain or sleet, or we have had some snow needles or ice needles one time that were kind of fun. But yeah, so a lot of fun. But tell us a little bit, what have you seen so far working today when it comes to our tropical forecast?
so far today, we've got the remnant low of what was Tropical Storm Barry. Last night it made landfall and became a tropical depression when it did that. And then it quickly fell apart over Mexico's rugged terrain. And now it's still kicking up a lot of storms in Mexico, and that's moving north towards us, more northwest-ish. And it's starting to enter the southern parts of Texas right now.
Yeah, which is interesting because it's kind of waves of energy coming off of the system that are really leading to our rainfall. So we've had kind of a lull. Even yesterday, there was a wave of energy that increased the wind for most of us, but didn't always bring all of us a lot of rain. So yeah, pretty interesting forecast. So I guess we'll dive right into it. Yeah. So once again, this is Hope Bolin, and so she is our First Edition weekend meteorologist.
Yes.
And if I am ever out of town or on vacation, having a staycation, maybe I'm going surfing or to the doctor or sick, you probably will see Hope, possibly still Kristen, depending on what day of the week it is. But yeah, fun stuff here. So let's get into the forecast now. Hope, feel free to chime in whenever you want. But right now we are looking at our radar imagery where we are starting to see some of those storms popping up into Kennedy County. There are some marine warnings north of Port Mansfield. And so actually let's take a look at those and see what they're saying. So we get an idea of kind of how fast these winds may be and how fast the storm is moving. So they have it moving at 20 knots. I'm not great at my knot to miles per hour conversion.
It's a little bit more, probably 23, 25.
Yeah, I know when I was
mapping
it out earlier, I had it going at about 30 miles per hour. I don't think that's quite the conversion, 20 to 30, but it might have slowed down a little bit. But that's the estimate that the National Weather Service has given, that it's moving northwest at 20 knots. And so that's the main line. Out ahead of that line, there are some spotty showers that have developed. And again, this marine warning is for the area north of Port Mansfield, which does include Kennedy County, Padre Island National Seashore. It goes all the way down to Kennedy County. They're not warning for water spouts at this time, which is some good news, but the wind may be around 34 knots or greater. So I would say think 35 up to, I would say high end 40 miles per hour is what we are looking at, which is similar to what we experienced yesterday. I think Flower Bluff got up to about 46 miles per hour, but Yeah, so that's the current radar. We are starting to see, I think something that is important to note is with tropical downpours, the rainfall rates can be pretty heavy. I don't know if it's rained quite enough to get some of our estimated accumulation, actually. Let's make sure the Brownsville radar is the one on. Actually, it shouldn't matter. It's starting on the 16th. We don't want that. We want the 30th.
130?
Oh, that's not going to work. There we go. So there's some rainfall. This is since midnight, but it really hasn't been raining north of Brownsville since about an hour ago. So let's query some of these rainfall totals just to get an idea. So we're looking at around 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches per hour on the high end. On the low end, it's under 1/2 inch, so around a few tenths of an inch. So if you get into one of those really heavy areas where you're seeing the red on the radar, your rainfall rate could be up to about an inch or so per hour. So that is considerable and can cause visibility issues and street flooding. But again, it kind of depends on if you're getting some of these lines of storms and stratiform rain forming behind it and things like that really add into the rainfall total amount. But yeah, right now we do also have some spotty activity up into Refugio County and between there and Palacios and Bay City, El Campo, headed Wharton. Oh, Bucky's is getting a thunderstorm, or about to. But yeah, it's very spotty activity for now, but when we get this line approaching us, that will make it a little bit more, not necessarily widespread, but maybe numerous. And if it's moving, let's see if we track it out. Let's say 25. That's in between my estimate and the National Weather Service estimate of time. Or that might actually be there.
I think that's probably
25.
about, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to zoom in a little. And again, this is for the line. There's going to be some spotty activity ahead of the line. So remember that when we're tracking this estimated time of arrival. But this would have it, if it's moving at 25 miles per hour, it would be in Kingsville by 12:52, Bishop by 1 o'clock, Corpus Christi, so like downtown Corpus Christi. The south side would be earlier, probably closer to the Bishop time. That would be Chapman Ranch more so than south side. But downtown Corpus Christi around 1:27, and then all the way up to Orange Grove by 2:05. This is an estimated time of arrival if it stays moving at 25 miles per hour, and if it lasts. A lot of this, the further away it moves from the low, so we have this area of low pressure, that's the remnants of Barry, as Hope mentioned earlier. But these remnants are moving northwest. But as this line of storms gets away from the center of that low, it's going to lose energy and lose tropical moisture as well. Now, we have a lot of tropical moisture, so we would have to get past San Antonio to really lose that moisture. But the energy naturally decreases further away from that low. And so odds are these storms do weaken as they get closer to Corpus Christi, but especially as they get closer to Live Oak County or San Antonio. Let's take a look at the latest. This is from the National Hurricane Center. So 10 o'clock came and passed. Typically, we would have an update at 10 o'clock, but we don't because the remnants of Barry have weakened so much that the National Hurricane Center is no longer tracking this storm. And so with that being said, this is the update as of 4 a.m. Barry has likely weakened since then. I don't have the current wind or wind gust coming out of Mexico at hand. It's difficult for us, at least, to get that information. The National Hurricane Center can estimate some of those things based on what their hurricane hunters might have said if they were tracking it, or satellite. They're much more trained in that than I am at reading satellite imagery and getting cool things like wind speed and in different levels of temperature and things like that. But yeah, so we're not going to get any more updates on Barry because it has weakened. But even though Barry has weakened, we're still getting a lot of tropical moisture coming from Barry. And so that's why we're keeping this weather impact alert for sure for today and tomorrow. Even though the rain isn't widespread all day long, it's not a washout, and it's not going to impact everybody, but there is an abundant amount of tropical moisture. You see those really dark greens on this map, and that's going to lead to a higher probability of rainfall or heavier rainfall, especially if a thunderstorm is able to form. And so what you see here is that energy as well. So where we see the atmospheric energy combined with that tropical moisture, that's likely going to be where higher rainfall amounts are going to be. So you'll see that here. A lot of this energy focused a little bit closer to the Rio Grande Valley than necessarily Corpus Christi. A lot of that due to kind of that high pressure, how strong or weak it may be, and how far west it may push some of that data. If we go back a little bit, I mean, this is Wednesday, which is a day I think our rain is trending down because dry air is likely going to start to mix in by then as well due to the Saharan dust. What do you think about the Saharan dust, Hope?
Well, I know we have some kind of in our atmosphere right now. It's looking a little bit more like that high is pushing it more towards like Houston and Louisiana. From what I saw, I think Saharan dust comes back in more Thursday, Friday type. That's when Friday, Saturday is when a lot of the dry air comes in, I think, from what I was looking at today.
And there's going to be a lot more sinking air as we get into Thursday as that high pressure gets a little stronger. So that will push some of the Saharan dust a little bit closer to the atmosphere as well, which means your allergy-like symptoms may be inflamed a little bit more by then. But yeah, now let's talk rainfall because this is what everyone wants to see. We'll have a more up-close version coming up, but this is showing where areas closer to where that remnant low is are likely going to see more rain. But you see these waves of energy coming up and possibly impacting the coastal bend and portions of South Texas. So again, it's not a washout, but as we see these waves of energy come up, the southern or the more eastern edge of that energy that's not being impacted by the high yet will give us a chance of rainfall. And you'll see that here. But as we get into the 4th of July holiday weekend, who's ready for that? Happy birthday, America. We are going to see less rain. You see it shift more so up out of Mexico and towards San Angelo into kind of the Permian Basin area as well. That's where the rainfall shifts as the high pressure kind of grows and limits our rainfall here locally, and we get more Saharan dust, we get more drier air, and rainfall becomes less likely heading into the 4th. Do you have any fun plans for the 4th?
I won't be in the United States.
Ho is getting out of town. That's fine.
I will be overseas, yes.
Fun times. For us, if you're staying in town, we are going to be turning up the heat. So it will feel like temperatures are going to start to near 110. We're not there yet for a Corpus Christi forecast, but we're getting close. We're talking 108. That's close enough, right? What's the difference between 108 and 110? Really nothing.
No, nothing.
Hot is hot.
Yeah.
Upper 90s for your air temperature. So today, with more cloud coverage, it's looking pretty dark outside of our windows. We are likely going to stay in the 90s, and as we head into 4th of July weekend, there's your heat index forecast, 108 for Corpus Christi. If you're somewhere like Kingsville, Alice, you tend to be several degrees hotter than Corpus Christi, so prepare for that as well. Another side effect of Barry is marine conditions. Have you been to the beach yet, Hope?
Once.
Woohoo! How was it?
It was good. When was it? Like a week ago, I think? Yeah. It was fine.
Good. Well, for marine current conditions, we've got southeast wind at 60 miles per hour, gust at 18. Our wave heights are 5 feet every 8 seconds, and our water and air temperature are about the same. 85 is pretty hot. That's why we're starting to talk tropics. We're getting some breaks in some pockets of that Saharan dust, so that storm was able to form in the Bay of Campeche before the dust kind of started interacting with it. So yeah, we're talking tropics. We've got hot sea surface temperatures in the Gulf, and anything above 80 means it's fair game. So yeah, a period of 8 seconds at the beach. I can't wait to try to surf, pending the thunderstorms. 8 seconds is a good period for us. We tend to stay 5 seconds, maybe 6 seconds if you're lucky. And so anything that's over that just gives you more time to kind of prepare for the wave that's coming your way or recover after falling. So it just makes life easier and allows for bigger waves to actually form because it's less choppy. There's more energy that the wave can kind of use. But that also increases our rip current risk for the same reason. Those waves have a lot of water that they're pushing up onto the beach, and then it's got to go back into the Gulf. And so that's how the rip current is how water returns back out to sea, essentially. And the bigger the wave and the longer the period, the easier it is for that water to return. We are looking at 4 to 6 foot waves. Oops, I skipped that too fast. We're looking at 4 to 6 foot waves today, but they do start to fall as the remnants of Barry get weaker. I've been so scared that I'm going to call Barry Barrel. Because it was about the same time last year that we were tracking Barrel. It was the 4th of July weekend that it was Monday of that weekend at like 4 a.m. in the morning that it made landfall near Matagorda, Texas. And of course, Houston saw some of the biggest impacts from that storm. But yeah, it was about the same time. We have our B storms on the map. Thankfully, this one already weakened so much that the National Hurricane Center is no longer tracking it. But as it continues to weaken, our wave heights will weaken as well. So it's just because it won't have the stronger winds associated with that low pressure system helping boost activity there into the Gulf. So we will see our waves still maybe around 2 to 4 feet as we head into Friday, but by Saturday and Sunday, we're looking closer to 1 to 2 feet. So that'll allow for the water clarity to kind of increase. We also have that 20% chance of development over Florida. You see the wave heights increasing there. That's a sign of that low. I'm going back and forth and I got confused on what direction it was showing. But that will be interesting to keep an eye on. It's not expected to really hit us, but you do see, this doesn't really show the path of that storm essentially because it's kind of like a ripple effect. Waves, if something does try to develop, or the low, there just needs to be a low of some sort to get bigger waves in the Gulf. But it does look like there may be a little bit of a ripple effect from that low chance of development over there. Closer to Florida. So that's something to keep an eye on. That could also increase our rip current risk as well. But one of the reasons we are seeing that is because it's windy in between the low and the high. And so it's pushing water really from the Bay of Campeche up to the Gulf Coast, and that's why our wave heights are really going up. As far as our Barry thoughts, periods of heavy rainfall, street ponding, or street flooding may be possible with higher rainfall amounts like we talked about. Also could see some gusty wind. The marine warning was 34 knots, so I would say 30 to 40 mile per hour gusts with thunderstorms is not out of the question. Rain is trending down after Tuesday. There is a chance we could still see some activity into Wednesday morning, but after that, we really start to see it trending down. Here's the latest view. The cloud coverage really has thickened up quite a bit since this morning. Of course, we have the New Harbor Bridge open for southbound traffic. Those cars are so much smaller or harder to see because the bridge is further away from our Lex camera. And also it's higher, so you're not quite looking at the same level or down a little bit at the traffic flowing over the new bridge. So yeah, great sight to see, but of course, if you're headed to Portland, you still have to take the old bridge. If you're coming from Portland, you do have to take the new bridge or go the long way around if you're not ready for that. I wanted to show the hour by hour. So temperature right now is 85, feels like 95, so we may start to feel even hotter than that by noon, but with rain in the area between noon and 1, temperatures may actually fall a little bit, pending when those thunderstorms do show up. So this Futurecast is not really initiating. The current radar, I would say, does not look like that.
No, not at all. No.
So it's not initiating great, so take this with a grain of salt. But I would say this line of storms is probably similar to the one we're tracking. I would say we estimated the arrival in Corpus around 1. And I think it's a little bit more so from Corpus to Robstown to Alice than necessarily off in the Gulf at this point. So I would move that blob you're seeing on the right side of your screen a little bit more centered over the area and put it at 1 to 2 o'clock, and that would be a little bit more accurate. But then as we head into the evening, this is showing a little bit less activity in the evening, but I think spotty showers and storms do continue into the evening. We may get a break as we head into Tuesday morning, and a lot of, I just went out of control. Yeah, because I didn't put any pause points, and I'm just trying to do it manually. But Tuesday is keeping a lot of the energy a little bit more off to the west, which is what we've seen.
Yes.
The upper level energy does look like it stays west of Corpus Christi. That's not to say we don't get rain, right? It looks like we're going to get some rain from that line if it stays strong enough to make it to us again around 1 o'clock. But a lot of the upper level energy that Hope and I have been looking at keeps the activity more so, I would say, like Kingsville, Alice, all the way to like Laredo.
Yeah, it kind of steers the storms.
Yeah.
Or like makes it easier for it to form.
Yes, exactly. They'll likely have more power off that direction. But here's a look into Tuesday night. Tuesday night could be an active time frame. I'm just going to let it play out into Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning doesn't look overly active. And then look, Thursday, nothing, and then we lose the model data because it doesn't go out past 4:30 a.m. on
then
Thursday.
all the clouds stop moving.
Yeah, everything stops moving. That's not how it's going to happen in real life. That's just our data ending. So what you need to know is we do have tropical rain in the forecast. Again, the timing is really difficult to nail down because it is very dependent on the upper level energy. And that's not the best forecast, right? So Monday, Tuesday, tropical rain, gusty conditions, possible with those thunderstorms. So just keep that rain gear handy. And if you do have plans to go to the beach, have a plan if things get gusty to act quickly. If you see clouds that look like they're moving to the beach, take down your tin and put it in your car because it's coming, right? So if it's getting darker and darker and darker, that's a sign to prepare to take shelter and be ready for your stuff to blow away if you don't. As far as rainfall goes, I base this off the upper level energy. 1 to 2 inches more likely where I expect more storms to be from Brownsville to Laredo, and then from Kennedy County through Brooks County and portions of Duval County, and then finally Corpus Christi around 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch through the next 3 days. And then finally, we have our 7-day forecast. So again, I'm highlighting Monday and Tuesday as a weather impact alert just because that's when we have the most tropical moisture in play. It's not a guarantee you see rain. It's not a guarantee you see a lot of rain, but we are looking at some rain. So anyway, that's all I have. Anything else you want to add? Did I miss anything? It's okay.
I don't think so.
Someone asked in the comments, they didn't ask you, they asked me, any jokes, Carly? I don't know if I have any jokes. I don't know if y'all remember when I was sick a couple weeks ago. I might have passed that.
Oh, no, you definitely did. And the cough is just lingering. I'm good, guys. It's just the cough that like won't go away.
So, yeah. We hope that's my best joke, that she gets better. We know she will. But yeah, a lot of people said, hey ladies, hi Hope. How are you doing this morning? So yeah, a good crowd on this Facebook Live. And we also stream behind us, Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, Smart TVs. There's an app you can download. And then you can watch us. I believe our app live stream has ended because we said only go till 10:30, but I should know better. I always extend my time limits. So if it feels like I'm rushing at the end, that's because I am. But yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Have you ate any tacos yet, Hope?
From here? No, I haven't.
We're going to have to get her out tomorrow, maybe. Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
Pending the rain. If there's rain on the radar, we'll be here tracking it live for you, if necessary, right? If it's just some chill thunderstorms, not always necessary to be live.
Yeah.
But if there is a chance that it's going to have a high impact to your day, we'll try to be live. Most of the time, if it is a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning or a flash flood warning, those are instances where we will definitely be live. The other cases, it just kind of depends. So, yeah, that's going to do it. I don't have anything else to say. Download our app. and have a great day.